So in inorganic analysis, you will provide a salt which contain, we know, a cation and anion. So you have to find out both anion and cation. It will contain only single anion and cation. So by the appearance of that from preliminary tests and confirmatory test, you have to identify which anion and cation are provided for you. So first step, you have to identify them by preliminary test. So first we have to we should identify anion, then we'll move to cation. So we'll see using one salt by the we'll identify using first salt. We'll provide one salt. From that we'll identify which anion is present in that and which cation is present in. So we'll start. There are so many salts in our lab. So from that, any salt you will get. For each students, you will get each salt, different salts. There are ammonium sulfate, zinc sulfate, calcium nitrate. So many salts are there. From that one you will get, and we'll see with one example. It is our given salt. From this we have to identify anion and cation. So first we have to do the preliminary test. Preliminary test is for just confirmation, not confirmatory. What will be that preliminary test? But we'll get some idea which anion or which cation will be there. For that we have to conduct preliminary test. So if we take this one, here it is colorless. So what is there for colorless? If it is colored, we can identify it may be nickel or copper will be there. Hence it is colorless, so we can identify that absence of nickel and copper. It is colorless, we will identify there is absence of copper and iron, but it is just preliminary test. And the second test is smell. Take a pinch of salt and rub it with our finger and shown to water. Add one drop of water to it and smell it. Rub it well and add one drop of water and smell it. If there is here you can see the salt. If there is ammoniacal smell or vinegar, if there is ammoniacal smell, it is contain ammonium cation. If there is vinegar like smell, that is vinagre we are using in home, if there is vinegar like smell, we can confirm it is not confirm, we can identify there is acetate. If there is smell like the rotten eggs, we can identify sulfide will be there. So we'll see that. So add a drop of water to this. I have added a drop of water. I have added a drop of water and rubbed it and we'll see. So while smelling and all, you have to take care. It's having vinegar like smell. So it's having vinegar like smell, so we can identify that maybe acetate will present. Okay. So then we'll move to next preliminary test, that is heat test. So take little salt in a test tube, dry test tube, and use a test tube holder. This is not test tube holder, this is tongs. Here no test tube holders are not good, that's why I am using tongs, but be careful. Do not heat directly. Heat it. If there is evolution of any gas, if there is evolution of colorless gas, we can identify maybe there will be presence of sulfate and nitrate, but there is no evolution of gas, no evolution of direct gas. This gas is evolving. But it's dissolved completely. There is no evolution of any gases. So we can tell that there is absence of sulfate or nitrate, and we can also tell there is no evolution of colored gas. If the evolution of colored gas is there, we can call it as nitrate is there, etc. I hope you have the lab manual, so go through that. So we have to do all the tests step by step. Okay. Next we will do the flame test. It is also a preliminary test. For this we have to take the salt, and for this we need concentrated H2SO4. So we will conduct the flame test. For flame test we required salt, given salt, concentrated H2SO4, concentrated sulfuric acid, which is a bench reagent, and a glass rod. These are the equipments required. Our salt. So take little of salt in a watch glass. So take a little of salt in a watch glass and add few drops of concentrated H2SO4 to this. Add carefully this concentrated H2SO4 and make a paste using glass rod. Make it as a paste. And show this one to the non-luminous flame, that is our Bunsen flame. Let's see if there is any color. If there is red color, we can call it as calcium. If it is brick red color, strontium. Green color, barium. And yellow color, sodium. And blue color, let me check which is blue color. So it is not showing any characteristics color. So absence of calcium, barium, strontium. So we'll move to the identification test for anions. So first we had conducted a preliminary test. Then we'll move to the identification test. For that, first bench reagent is dilute HCl. So all the heating purpose and all, we have to use this equipment. This is known as boiling tube. This is for boiling purposes, so it will not break easily. So for this one, first test we have to take a little of salt, little of given salt, add a little of salt, take a little of salt. To this add dilute HCl. So there will be dilute HCl in the bunch. So take dilute hydrochloric acid, add dilute HCl. If there is brisk effervescence means a gas will evolve with sound, or brisk effervescence we can call it as, we can confirm there is presence of carbonate. But in given salt there is no brisk effervescence, so we have to write absence of carbonate. Then after putting solution and all, we have to kept this test tube in this side. I hope you can see the test tube stand. So after confirmation test, identification test, you keep test tube here. Before, from here we have to take. Then we'll move to the second test with dilute H2SO4. So take salt in a test tube, Sorry for this, we have to take the preliminary test. Add salt to a water glass, add some dilute H2SO, dilute H2SO4, and if there is vinegar smell, you can call it as there is presence of acetic acid. So we'll see that. So take one water glass. So for this reaction we require dilute H2SO4. Second step. So this all there in your lab manual. I hope the prescription is already given to you. So take some salt, add little dilute H2SO4 to this. Take the salt, add dilute H2SO4 to it, and take a glass rod, make a paste of it. Here you can see make a paste using this one. Rub it well with glass rod. And smell it. Yes, there is a vinegar like smell. If there is vinegar like smell, we can identify there is the presence of acetate. So there is vinegar like smell, so we can identify presence of acetate. The next test is, there is presence of acetate. There is only presence, we have to confirm it. Then next one is, but if it is a identification also, we have to move to the next test. Next one. So for that, the test is using with concentrated H2SO4. It is a heating test, so we have to take a boiling tube. So take a little salt. Take salt. So the next test is using concentrated H2SO4. It is a heating test. So take the salt in a boiling tube. Take little salt and add concentrated H2SO4 to this. Concentrated H2SO4 also bench reagent. Add concentrated H2SO4 to this and heat it. After taking all reagents, close it. You keep it in the correct position in the bench. So hold it using test tube holder and heat it. Do not direct heat, slantly you have to heat. This is slantly heating. Heat it gently. There is no evolution of any gas, so absence of chloride. If there is a colored gas evolved, we can identify the presence of chloride, but there is no gas evolved, so we can identify the absence of chloride. Next test is also using with concentrated H2SO4 and paper bowl. It is also heating test. So again we have to take salt and add concentrated H2SO4 to it. Take the salt correctly. Take little salt and again take concentrated H2SO4. Add concentrated H2SO4 to this and heat it and add a paper bowl to heating solution. So take this one into the heating. Heat the solution. It's boiling little bit. So be careful while using this, while doing this test, because we know it's very dangerous. Heat it gently. Then add a paper bowl to this. That is our common paper. If this paper bowl changed to black color with evolution of a gas, then we can identify the presence of nitrate. But there is, I hope you can see there is no change. No change, so absence of nitrate. Then another next test is with our barium chloride. We'll see that. In this test, we are taking a test tube. For that, we are adding our salt, and the next bench reagent is barium chloride. Barium chloride. Add barium chloride. Add barium chloride to the salt solution. So we have to make the salt into solution. Add a little bit water to this, and for next test, take salt in a test tube, dry test tube, make it as a solution, add water to this, and add barium chloride solution. It is also a bench reagent. Add barium chloride to this. There is a white precipitate. We can identify the presence of sulfate. So we'll move to the next. So in the identification test, we have identified there is vinegar-like smell in the action with dilute HCl. So we have identified the presence of acetate. So we have to confirm that, and absence of other anions. So for the confirmation, take our salt and add ferric chloride solution. It is also bench reagent. Ferric chloride solution to this. If there is red precipitate form, we can confirm the presence of acetate. We'll add to this. We'll add solution to this. Yes. We know the color of solution is greenish yellow, but after the reaction we got red color precipitate. Here red color precipitate is formed. So if you check here, you can see that. So presence of acetate confirmed by the test. Then for the next test, we have to take our salt in a watch glass and add oxalic acid to this. Oxalic acid also bench reagent. If there is vinegar-like smell, we can confirm the presence of acetate. So hence our salt contain the anion acetate. We have identified our anion. Our anion is acetate, and there will be one more thing. There will be a cation. So take the salt again and identify the anion. So take the salt in a test tube. Again, a clean test tube. We have to add the salt. We have to add the salt to this, and to the salt First we have to check the zero group. The zero group contains ammonium cation. So it is the test with sodium carbonate. Then for almost all cation tests we need salt solution. So prepared a salt solution that dissolve our salt in water, distilled water. Here the non-availability of distilled water is there, so that is why it is white in color. So take clear solution and clear salt solution, and take our salt solution for the first test. Take salt solution to the test tube. Till amount of salt solution, and add sodium carbonate. The first reagent is sodium carbonate for cation. So sodium carbonate, add sodium carbonate to this. So if there is no precipitate formed, we can call it as presence of ammonia, but precipitate formed, so absence of ammonia. Then we'll move to the next group, the first group elements. So take a clean test tube and add salt solution. Try to add clear solution. You will get clear solution if you are using distilled water. And add the next reagent is dilute HCl. And if you add dilute HCl, while adding dilute HCl, if you are getting a white precipitate, we can identify the presence of first group elements. If we add dilute HCl, you can see there is precipitate formed. So we can identify the presence of first group elements. So and you have to keep this test tube with you. Maybe examiner will ask this. So keep this test tube in test tube holder. So we have identified the presence of first group element. Then we move to the presence of first group element is confirmed. So we move to the confirmatory test of first group elements. First group elements contain lead and copper. So we'll see. We'll move to lead first. So we'll move to the confirmation of first group elements. So first we'll move to the lead. For that, take salt solution. Take your salt solution, the prepared salt solution. Add this salt solution to a test tube. Add salt solution to the test tube. For this, the reagent is potassium iodide. Take potassium iodide and add potassium iodide to this. If you are getting yellow precipitate, we can confirm the presence of lead. If you see here, you can see that I am adding lead, potassium iodide to this. Yes, there is the presence of where you can see presence of yellow precipitate. So we can say that presence of lead confirmed. By this we cannot confirm. If we heat this, if it is turned to golden spangles like golden glittering color, we can confirm the presence of lead. We'll see that. So heat this solution. Heat the solution. We'll change the solution to boiling heat, that is for our safety. And will heat. Then we need not to worry about breaking of test tube and all. So if there is any heat experiment, do that in boiling tube. That will be for your safety. So heat this. So while heating, take care. So if the precipitate is dissolving, yes, it is started to dissolve. If it is dissolving while heating, yes, it is dissolving. So almost it is dissolved. You can see that almost it is dissolved, but still should be dissolved. Almost dissolved. We'll see what will happen after cooling. After cooling, it will become, if it is become golden spangles, then we can confirm the presence of lead. For cooling, take a beaker of water and keep this boiling tube in the beaker. Then after some time, we'll see. So we kept this for cooling. So do not add this to directly, don't put it in the water, maybe it will break. So after some time we can put. You see, keep it there in a side. We'll see the appearance of golden spangles later. Leave it here. Then we move to the next step. So here we can see the golden spangles. So hence we can verify the presence of lead.